The killer killed him, according to police reports, because he found Charlie Kirk to be spreading hate.
Account,
This
not
is
some
a
teacher, not whatever, but Don Jr., Donald Trump Jr. He decided to put out a picture of a hammer and some underpants and say, I've got my Paul Pelosi Halloween costume.
I
Tonight.
was more
Morally this superior than the other. This is not.
No.
And just while we're talking about, excuse me, sir,
doing the
while we're
murdering?
talking about political
Who is doing
violence,
the assassinations?
what about January the 6th? What about January the 6th, where a MAGA mob
Okay.
decided...
Welcome back to Reggie Red's Reactions, everybody. Today we got Piers Morgan, and they talking about the Charlie Kirk thing. They having a debate. Things get heated, things get emotional, but you can just tell that some people are delusional and don't care about facts, and some people do care about facts, but it's like their emotions is gone out the window. It's nothing but numbers. And that's the people on the left and the right. So we gonna get into it. And if you like this video by the end, make sure you like, subscribe, and share with your friends. And turn on them alert bells too, so you know when I'm dropping my next video. Let's get into it.
Even censor those differing ideas.
I mean, how prescient, Batty, those comments seem now, because that's exactly what has happened here. What's your reaction to Charlie's murder, and how do you feel about the way things may go from here?
Thank you so much for having me, Piers. It's obviously still very raw for a lot of us. I'm finding myself very caught between, on the one hand, wanting to honor his legacy of unity through debate and coming together to take down the temperature, and then wanting to honor his legacy of telling the truth. And the truth is, this is not a both sides issue. The killer killed him, according to police reports, because he found Charlie Kirk to be spreading hate. This is a view shared by every single prominent Democrat. Yes, there are people on Blue Sky advocating for violence, but what actually caused this was the utterly quotidian, utterly ubiquitous demonization of the political opposition from the left. And it has just led to violence because they said the other side were Hitler and Nazis. They said that speech is violence. To combine those two things together is to sign the death warrant of prominent conservatives. And that is what we are seeing again and again and again. And it is utterly facetious to suggest that there is any comparison between political violence on both sides. Every example they bring is not actually showing that, whether it's Governor Shapiro, whose attempted assassination was from a Free Palestine leftist, or whether it was the Minnesota assassinations, which were from somebody who said he was operating at the behest of Democrat Governor Tim Walz. There is a culture among Democrats at the highest level to suggest that their political opposition are a danger, and that suggests that their lives are forfeit. And I want to come together. I do. I love what Shank said. It brought tears to my eyes. I had to reach for a tissue while you were playing Charlie's words. But at the same time, we cannot unite with people who are lying to our faces about who we are, who will not take responsibility for the fact that they suggested that we are Nazis because of totally legitimate views that reflect the majority of Americans. So what I say is, let the left say we were wrong. It is legitimate to vote for Donald Trump. It is legitimate to be pro-life. It is legitimate to believe that there are only two genders, and we were wrong to suggest that that was not the case. We were wrong to say that that is hateful. When they say that, I am waiting with open arms to take down the temperature.
Lewis Goodall, you are on the left.
Now see, this is why I say these people have no type of self-awareness, man. Like, dude, he gonna bring it up later, but it's like January 6th, the shots at the CDC, the school shootings, they're on the right side. You got political violence on both sides, bro. But the people on the right, like, no, it's just their side. See, they lead with their emotions on the right because the facts is not proving this. And dude gonna sit up here and give you the facts, but you all the MAGA be like, I don't believe that. I done seen plenty of videos where motherfuckers just straight showed them the facts. And they say, oh, I don't believe that. That's fake news. See what Trump calls, man? Everything ain't fake news. Everything is not what he think. Y'all got a fuck person as a leader, and y'all are taking after his attributes, his characteristics and shit. That's what y'all are doing. Anyway, let's keep going.
Your reaction to that?
Well, Piers, my reaction is that I think it's reprehensible. And I think it is part of a much wider pattern of behavior driven by partly social media, but in particular the hyperpolarization of American politics, which is part of a big trend of legitimizing violence, of making violence an acceptable means of prosecuting your politics. Where I would disagree, possibly with you, possibly with other members of the panel, is that this is somehow just confined to the left, or the idea that this is just happening on the left. Yes, there have been examples of that. We've just seen it just now. I was disgusted at the reaction to what happened with Luigi Manzioni earlier in the year. Very similar sort of phenomenon.
Yeah.
But let's see where it's happened in other parts of the right. Do you remember what happened with Paul Pelosi, for example? Nancy Pelosi's husband almost killed to death. What was the reaction of not just some random left-wing accounts, not some teacher, not whatever, but Don Jr., Donald Trump Jr., he decided to put out a picture of a hammer and some underpants and say, I've got my Paul Pelosi Halloween costume tonight. This is the wider legitimization of violence that we're seeing. And let's just have a look. I mean, let's talk about some accounts that I've been looking at. You've been horrified what you've seen on Twitter, some stuff I've seen on Blue Sky, some stuff I've seen on X over the course of the last 24 hours. Liberals can never be allowed to run this country again. How can you coexist with people that want to murder you? If you vote Democrat at this point, you're a demonic, evil person. I will support whatever saves our country. Trump has a blank check as far as I'm concerned. I could go on, I could go on, and I could go on. And I could give a list of all of the many occasions we've seen in recent years of right-wing, hard right, far-right terrorism that we saw against what happened in Minnesota. I mentioned Paul Pelosi, Josh Shapiro. In fact, I disagree with just as a matter of fact. Investigators found in the Shapiro case online activity and writings that included extreme right-wing, anti-Semitic conspiracy theories and rhetoric against Shapiro, who is, of course, Jewish and a Democrat, and in Michigan. And even in the last 24 hours or so, what do we see from Laura Loomer on Ilhan Omar, the Democratic Congresswoman, Laura Loomer being a very senior MAGA person? At the end of the day, everyone needs to realize that Ilhan Omar is a bloodthirsty Muslim terrorist sympathizer who has no place in our country. Her presence in Congress is a national security threat, and she's an enemy from within. So please, the idea that there is some sort of asymmetry on this, the fact of the matter is, America and indeed the UK as well, we've got into a really negative cycle here where basically the temperature goes up, and it goes up, and it goes up. And then sometimes some of the people who are responsible for that turn around and go, God, I can't believe it's so hot in here. Everyone needs to pull back from the brink. Social media needs to actually be reformed and needs to be changed. Elon Musk has been pretty responsible for some of this stuff that we've seen as well. So let's not pretend. If we pretend that this is just a problem of the left or of liberalism or of wokeism or whatever you want to say, this problem is not going to be any better or get any better. Let's use this as a moment for all of us to look within ourselves and decide to be better.
Okay, well, we've been joined on the panel by PBD podcast Angry Patriot, Vincent Oshana. Vinny, great to have you back on our sense. I'm sorry it's in such awful circumstances that we're talking on this Friday. But your response to what Lewis Goodall's just said, that this is a problem on all sides, that political violence has been ratcheting up and that there's a collective issue that needs to be dealt with.
Now, as y'all can see, he just laid out all facts. Now watch what this next dude do. Roll a clip.
Well, Piers, thank you for having me, and hello to everybody on the panel. Piers, I'm sorry, but trying to compare a photo of a Pelosi hammer for a Halloween thing to somebody getting shot in the neck in front of his family at a campus is unbelievable. The fact that you're trying to make the two comparison is absurd, okay? And if we want to, since you're on the left and you have those beliefs, give me something that the left is positive about. Because from what we're seeing, they're pro-abortion, they're pro-celebrating assassination, they're pro-open border. Give me something positive that the left is running on. Because at the end of the day, they're at the Democrats' 35-year low approval rating. And Piers, I have to go a little bit deeper. I have to go, this isn't about left. This isn't about right. Charlie was a proponent. He was a Christian praising Jesus Christ everywhere that he went. And I think that's where we are, Piers. Ephesians chapter 6, verse 12 says, for we not wrestle with flesh and blood, Piers. It's principalities. It's evil. It's dark forces in high places. And it drives me crazy, Piers, that we've gotten to this point. And when Tim Walz and these people are like, well, I woke up, I wanted to hear bad news. Hearing TMZ lying when their freaking people are back there cheering of a murder of a guy that did what, Piers? He went to college campuses. He was peaceful. He just wanted to have a debate, a conversation. And it is the left. Okay. When Joe Biden got diagnosed with colon cancer, who was celebrating? How many thousands of people were out there praying and hoping for this guy to recover? Okay, no, there's something that's captured, Piers. That image, that montage that you played, did you see the eyes of these people?
Yeah.
They are captured by something dark and they don't even know it, Piers. That's where we are. And I want to say something, Piers, before I give it back. Charlie was not murdered. He was martyred. And I want to say this in the Bible. And I'm sorry, I never was this guy, Piers, but we're at the tipping point. We are here. We have to understand that it's God or you're on the opposite side. And Revelation chapter 6, verse 9, 10 basically says, when a martyr's blood hits the throne of heaven, it turns the vengeance of the king towards the evil ones on earth. So for all the people that want to get mad and do something, stay calm and be easy because God at the end of the day, Piers, has vengeance on all these people that are spilling innocent blood.
Are you really saying that the American right, the Trump right, MAGA, has not got a problem with political violence?
Are you comparing us, who, by the way,
no, I'm asking
for how
whether
many years have 10 years? Hold on. Are you comparing the two? Hold on. I'm not saying that the right doesn't get violence, but show me where they're celebrating the murder of a father on a campus. Give it to me. Who celebrate Luigi Mangione, where he's in magazines and girls want to marry him and want to be with him?
No, you just have the president of the United States' son. You just have the president of the United States' son tweeting out a picture of a hammer, making fun of a guy who nearly got killed because of a right-wing maniac. Please do not tell me that somehow one side is more morally superior than the other. This is not.
No.
And just while we're talking about, excuse me, sir, while we're talking about political violence,
doing the assassinations?
what about January the 6th? What about January the 6th, where a MAGA mob decided to try to use violence to overthrow democracy? That is the definition of the legitimization of violence in the political process.
How many people? Excuse me, since you're such an American historian, how many people died on January 6th?
To know what happened on January
Ashley
6th,
Babbitt, a fellow United States Air Force, excuse me, let me finish. A United States Air Force veteran got shot subsequently in her freaking neck. Why? Hold on. Why? Because she was unarmed and she was advancing to a hall. Please, I'm 100% with you. I don't condone any violence, but the comparison is not even close to what the left does.
So let's have some statistics from your own government.
They promote it.
Let's have some statistics from your own government. These are your own government statistics. Now, I know you might not want to listen to the facts, but this is the facts. A study from the US government itself says that the majority of political violence in the United States occurs from the right, not the left, from the right. We have also seen in my own country what happened with the assassination of a Labour MP, Joe Cox. We saw what happened in Norway with Anders Behring Breivik. All violence on the right. I do not say, as you seem to say, sir, that one side or other is morally superior to the other. I do not say that there will not be political violence on one side or the other. What seems, and I find curious, is your belief, your fervor, that somehow one side of this debate is uniquely morally repugnant and one is superior. The statistics are wrong. That's not right. Doesn't support what you're saying. And the fact after fact after fact, and occasion after occasion after occasion shows the same thing. And like I say, January the 6th itself was literally the legitimization from your side of political violence at the highest of levels. And what did Donald Trump do? When he got back into office, he pardoned them all, sending a message that political violence is fine.
Excuse me, are you in the United States? Are you an American citizen?
I just returned from the United States, as a matter of fact, but I don't need to be in the United States to know what happened on January the 6th.
Are you an American citizen?
No, don't know what that's got to do with the price of fish.
Are you an American citizen?
Nope.
No, I want to ask you a question because you're looking down, you're reading stats and facts, and I don't know where the hell your sources are from. But guess what? As an American, from seeing what they did, excuse me, I let you talk. Please let me talk, okay? From what you mean to tell me what the left, your darling left, has done to the Republican Party and Donald Trump alone for 10 years, the calling for violence, the Hitler, like Batia said, all the negative rhetoric, hold on, to the impeachments, to shooting him in the head. And him saying, I want peaceful protesting, and then the FBI informants, all the confidential human resources inside the freaking crowd of January 6th, that's a whole different argument, debate that you don't want to get into. But as an American who lives in America and is a veteran, we see what's happening. I don't care about your ChatGPT stats. The left is the party that is inciting the violence and causing the problem.
Okay, I want to bring...
The man said he don't even care about facts. Fuck the facts. It's all about feelings over here. Like, come on, man. Every fucking stat I look up says the right commits way more fatalities than the left. And we ain't just going back to recent. You gotta go back. Oklahoma bombings and shit like that. January 6th. And y'all always talking about the rhetoric, and the left's rhetoric got Kirk killed. But what about Trump's rhetoric when he sent them to the Capitol? So Trump should have been charged for Ashley Babbitt's death. Because had he not did that, had he just accepted defeat like a man, none of that wouldn't have happened. None of it. And then the man pardoned every single last one of them. And they've been keeping since they pardoned them too. Most of them back in trouble. They raping people. I think one of them got killed by a cop. Like, y'all can't say that y'all want to stop violence, bro, when shit like that happen, when y'all condone this shit and make excuses for it. And then they always try to move the goalposts every time you catch them up. These people are crazy, man. These fake religious people, they fucking crazy. But anyway, I'm out of here, man. Drop a comment. Let me know what you think. I'll see y'all in the next video. Peace.